Calculus, the chain rule. Differentiate y equals 3x plus 1 cubed using the chain rule. And what I'm going to use for this is the outside-inside rule. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to differentiate the outside function, and then I'm going to differentiate the inside function, and then I'm going to multiply my answers together, and that's it. Okay, so this is my function, y equals 3x plus 1 to the power of 3. And if I just ignore whatever is inside of here, and I just think of it just like it's an x, I'm going to ignore what's inside the brackets for the moment. And I'm going to think about it like it's an x to the power of 3. If I had x to the power of 3, what I would do is bring the 3 down in front and reduce the power by 1. So if I just had x to the power of 3, the 3 would come down in front of the x, and I reduce the power by 1. So I'd end up with a squared. So the derivative of x cubed will be 3x squared. So I'm going to pretend like that's what I have over here, and I'm going to just forget that I've got 3x plus 1 inside the bracket. So I'm going to bring down this power in front. I'm going to bring the 3 down in front, and I'm going to reduce the power by 1. Okay, so what I have is the derivative equals 3 bracket 3x plus 1 squared. So I brought that power down in front. I kept what was inside the brackets as it was, and I reduced this power by 1 squared. So what I've done is I've differentiated the outside function. Now I need to differentiate the inside function and just multiply them together. So if I differentiate what's inside my bracket, the derivative of 3x is just going to be 3. And the derivative of 1 doesn't exist because we can't differentiate with respect to x if there's no x. So the derivative of what's inside my bracket is literally just going to be 3. I'm going to multiply that by what I already had over here. And the nice thing about these questions is that I don't actually need to multiply all of this out. I can just multiply the number at the front by the number at the back. So 3 multiplied by 3 is 9. And I can just keep 3x plus 1 squared as it is. So the derivative of 3x plus 1 cubed is going to be 9 3x plus 1 squared. So what I did was I differentiated the outer function. I brought the 3 down in front and reduced the power by 1. So I had 3 in front and a power of 2. And I kept the inside function as it was. And then I differentiated the inside function, and to differentiate 3x plus 1 I just have 3, and I multiplied my number at the front by the 3 to get 9. Okay, let's have a look at another example. Let's say we have our function to be 2x minus 5 to the power of 4, and I'm going to use the chain rule for this. So again, I'm going to differentiate the outer function, and then I'm going to differentiate the inner function, and I'm going to multiply them together. So to differentiate the outer function, I'm going to bring down the power in front and reduce the power by 1. So this 4 comes down in front and gets reduced by 1. So I end up with 4 times 2x minus 5 to the power of 3. So what I've done is I've differentiated my outer function. Now I need to differentiate my inner function. And the derivative of 2x minus 5 is just going to be 2, because I can cancel out the x and cancel out the constant. So I'm going to multiply this by 2, and I just have to multiply the first number by 2, so the 4 by 2. So I end up with 8 times 2x minus 5 cubed. So the derivative of 2x minus 5 to the power of 4 is 8 times 2x minus 5 to the power of 3. Okay, let's have a look at another example using the chain rule to differentiate. Let's say my function is 7x plus 10 to the power 9. So I'm going to differentiate the outside function. So I'm going to bring the 9 down in front and reduce the 9 by 1. And then I'm going to differentiate the inside function and multiply them together. So I'm going to bring down the 9 in front and reduce the 9 by 1. So I end with 9 times 7x plus 10 to the power of 8. So what I've done is I've differentiated my outer function. Now I need to differentiate my inner function. And the derivative of 7x plus 10 is just going to be 7. So I can cancel out the x and I can cancel out the 10. So I'm just left with 7, so it's going to be times 7. So now I just have to multiply the 9 by the 7. And 9 by 7 is 63. That's times 7x plus 10 to the power of 8. So the derivative of 7x plus 10 to the power of 9 is 63 times 7x plus 10 to the power of 8.